From the 4B studios in the heart of downtown Rochester, New York, this is Three Brothers and a Bill. And now, here's Tommy.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chris, my little brother.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michael, my older brother.
Good morning, sir.
And my brother from a different mother, Bill.
Good morning, Tommy.
Coming up on today's show, Rochester, New York, a crisis of violence. How safe do you feel? And the U.S. Army to begin forcing out soldiers who refuse the COVID vaccine. Today on Three Brothers and a Bill. Woo, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome. Hello.
Welcome. Second show of season 2, Three Brothers and a Bill. Let's see.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all this coming week here.
So,
except maybe for one or two who are violent, but okay.
So we're not only
they will remain nameless on Three Brothers and a Bill podcast.
we're not only murdering turkeys, but sadly our fellow citizens are being murdered by.
It's pretty bad.
Why?
I don't know why,
What
what I
is
do know is the U.S. Marshals came into town and they rounded up some bad
Really?
Sorry, I almost.
Oh, my.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was so close.
Well, the guys I'm talking about, I think was it the McDonald brothers, Ron and Don. Anyhow, these two brothers in front of our bus station, brand new transit station downtown Rochester. Pretty much, I think it was broad daylight. I think it was about 3-4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they literally. It's hard to not laugh because it's so violent that you can't believe people can do this, and it's not in the movie. One brother stabbed the man to death. The other brother shot him, and then they both proceeded to kick him repeatedly. The medical examiner wasn't sure when he came to pick up the body if this person died from the beating, the stabbing, or the gunshot. He didn't even know because I can't even tell you.
What supposedly motivated this crime?
You know what? That I don't know. They both. Anyhow, the U.S. Marshals caught both of these son of a guns in East Rochester at a house. And the U.S. Marshals, along with the Monroe County Sheriff's SWAT team, the sheriffs are outstanding. We got great sheriffs in this county. Wow. Yeah, man, they took.
Well, kudos to law enforcement for
the Marshals
catching really bad.
I tell you, when the U.S. Marshals are on your ass, man, I'm telling you, you better just surrender because they're going to get you.
And remember when Mike wanted to be one?
Yeah, they don't mess around.
I was going to be one.
I tell you, those Marshals could find you living under a freaking rock. They should have sent the U.S. Marshals to find Saddam Hussein. They would have had him done in about 2 days. They would have been back in time for the Super Bowl, man.
U.S. Marshals do not have authority overseas, though. They only have it within.
Listen. They can do whatever they want to the United States Marshals.
Aren't they the ones who fly on the?
You know what that is? You ever heard Chuck Norris? Stop screwing around.
Aren't they the guys who fly in the on the jets?
Yeah, Con Air.
Yeah. Okay.
They're responsible
That's a great movie,
for
man.
prisoner
Con Air,
transport.
fantastic.
And
good family fun.
Interesting little factoid that the U.S. Marshals at the beginning of the country were actually responsible for the census. So they actually went around and counted people.
Wow. Is that when they were knocking off Indians?
Yeah.
Native Americans.
Yeah, first Americans.
Whatever.
First Americans.
Listen, you can call them what you want, but they were getting murdered by some bad cowboys in those days.
Crazy. I will say there's a relative of mine, sadly he's passed, but he was part Cherokee, and he said, your Thanksgiving is my people's last supper. It's actually quite apropos.
Wow. Listen, apparently, when you sign a paper, I'll give you the bridge for like $10 and a cigar, that's legal because doing it now, that's for sure. It's in the terms and conditions that we can rob you daily, you know. It used to be called racketeering, extortion, and loan sharking when the mafia did it, but now it's just called banking practices.
I'm not talking about that financial institution. Value-added charges.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Value-added.
So going back, sadly, to Rochester, New York's murder rate, we have at least in the summer,
75, I think, murders right now.
We had a higher murder rate than Chicago. Yeah. The murder rate, the shootings, I'm not sure, but our murder rate was higher, at least in the summer, than Chicago, which has a notoriously high murder rate.
Why? What's going on in Rochester driving all this?
There's a lot of drugs, a lot of gang activity. There's a lot of things going
is
on.
Rochester that wealthy that all this stuff is going on, all this activity?
Yeah.
Like I've told you before, when the big organized crime names are in a town, because they have money. They're not looking to start up, robbing black and white TVs. You know what I mean?
Right.
Honestly, I don't know this, but for a fact, but I think it's true based on what I've read, is when you looked at drugs, fentanyl,
China.
methamphetamine. Well,
China.
You can make fentanyl though here.
But
I mean,
we
it's all
don't.
synthetic.
It comes from China.
Well, I'm sure you can make some here. And I think the availability
DEA
of
says
drugs
it comes from China.
Well, I'm sure a large supply does. However, I know heroin use has dropped.
Okay.
And even drug cartels out of the country, worldwide, have a reduced interest in heroin just because fentanyl is so cheap to make, and it's obviously much easier to import because literally all you have to import is the chemical components, make it here, and sell it.
So, I guess the other thing is, are people so unhappy that they're finding use of drugs that much of gee whiz, I don't want a house and a car and the family. I think I'll just start, just ingesting large amounts of whatever illegal substances.
Well, how about, Bill,
available
that this is just part of that oxycodone, that addiction that we had that now has transferred. Well, heroin, for whatever reason, maybe it's too expensive, but fentanyl now is kind of the key thing. So,
great.
We created, I should say, pharmaceutical companies created this massive heroin or opioid addiction process.
Right.
And now it's led into fentanyl. So now you got, if I can make it, you can make it. If all of us could make fentanyl here in our own little garages or basements,
oh my God!
Of course you're gonna have drug wars.
So how long
for
ago
territory.
was it where the military actually guarded the fields? How long ago was that?
It was in Afghanistan.
I know, but how long ago are we talking about?
Well, I know it was during I think it was Obama. I mean, probably George Bush, because technically
That's right.
they weren't.
That's right.
They weren't guarding the fields per se. They were guarding the warlords who supported us, their property. So no, we're not guarding opioid or
right.
opium
so it was
fields.
a little right.
We built a latrine on their
little spin doctor.
So America,
1,000 acres of poppy fields.
So when the DEA or any task force is arresting some kid, we spoke about this for little marijuana or whatever the case may be, our U.S. military, fully armed, was protecting opium.
Do you ever
fields.
see the fines for drug dealers? They're ridiculous.
Or poppy fields, I should say.
Like $10 million are the fines.
For what?
Like, I believe even Mayor Warren's husband, I believe one of the charges is, obviously 5 to 20 or whatever, but the fines and $10 million fine. It's they're crazy fines for the drug dealers.
Well, I mean, I guess is it because they assume that they have this much profit, or that they're going to literally take everything?
See, they must think there's someone in the financial industry. They have that kind of profit, and they should be charged $10 million for a fine, but they never do because they're scum.
Tommy, too big to fail. Okay, too big to fail. We need
too big to nail with a hammer.
We need to have those. We need we need to have those experts in charge of the financial industry because they've done such great.
No, they've done an outstanding job.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what has it was actually recent, either today or yesterday, there was a new announcement from lovely Warren, our mayor of Rochester, that there's a new way to combat murders and crime rates in the city.
How's that?
It is the resolution, emergency authorization, almost like the COVID vaccine, where Rochester Police Department officers will be able to shut down businesses that have had a history of violent.
I think they've always done that, though, haven't they? Like they had any bar that got the police called on them. Yeah, they can get shut down after I think 3.
So what do you?
Point
But I would
system.
think
it was
they
a
would
Yeah,
just,
it was. It is.
But
a
point, right?
But I would just think they'd just move on. Oh, okay. So the corner store. Well, we'll just move to the next one.
Well, sometimes.
Or you buy a house. I mean, you're selling.
All I know is some of these Middle Eastern folks have opened up grocery stores in the city. They're making some outstanding food for a little grocery store.
Oh.
There's this place I don't know how to say because I don't want everyone going there. Jay and Glide.
Okay.
They had the best freaking fried chicken, man.
Really?
I'm telling you, man. It's outstanding.
When you're
fried
visiting
chicken.
Rochester, New York, go to
Jay and Glide. It's a little grocery store. I don't know the name of it. I just know it's Jay and Glide. You can't miss it. It's a big parking lot. They got great parking, and they've got outstanding fried chicken. They got the little Jamaican patties there, pretty good, and the potato wedges.
Okay, so
Amazing.
that's the place to go until the police show up and
there's no
decide the
trouble.
people outside.
There's no trouble. I've never had no trouble there.
Okay, all right, okay,
It's a family-friendly atmosphere.
okay.
And they have a nice little smoke shop in the back in case
There
you
we
need
go.
something for your head stash
There you
on
go.
the way home.
There we go.
I thought Rochester, New York, is known for our garbage plate.
Yes. Well,
Well,
From Nick Towers.
Nick Towers has actually dropped the ball a little bit. I hate to
Ooh,
say it.
really?
I love Nick. I love his food. But the mac salad is like, it's like pasta and white water. I don't know what they're doing anymore. That's not the mac salad I ate growing up. I know, guys, that's not a mother's mac salad.
We could have a whole segue for the garbage.
Dude,
plate.
you gotta do something.
Okay.
That mac salad is not good anymore.
Okay.
It's just, I mean,
Right.
I tried and not say that.
So
but
steering
I
back,
have to.
so we have marshals showing up in Rochester. We have
Marshals
murders downtown in front of. Isn't it a fairly new?
Brand new.
Brand
It's
spanking
few
new.
Yeah,
years
because
old.
that was going to solve
And not
things.
to
that
mention,
was
this is
gonna-
guys. This is not stuff happening at 2, 3 in the morning. This is happening at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a sunny day.
Yeah.
There's people all over.
Yeah.
There's cops all over.
Yeah.
There's cops downtown
which
all
is
over on
which
horses
is also
and everything.
which is also bad because if one person is using a gun, they tend to bullets tend to travel through
Yeah,
things.
good,
There you
good.
go. And maybe they mistake the guy. It's not good to have beatings and murders at your transit station. Tends to turn people up to public transport.
How old was the victim?
Chris, I don't remember. I sadly I don't remember his name. That's always the way it is. Remember the killer, not the victim. But I honestly I don't know if there's any reasoning. I mean, I guess we're gonna have to hear from the district attorney's office when that comes out because, man, they shot the dude and stabbed the dude and then
It
beat him to
certainly
death.
sounds like it's not a random act.
He pissed off somebody.
Yeah,
pissed
really.
He pissed off the McDonald brothers. That's for
But
sure.
I mean, that kind of lawlessness is what you would think about New York City back in like the 70s.
I don't know. Rochester, New York's got some badass people
here.
here. Don't forget, we've
I
got
know.
a number of serial killers here
Yeah,
in this great
yeah.
little city of ours.
Yeah.
We breed some violent people here, apparently.
Yeah, that's nice.
Must be the garbage place. See, he changed the mac salad. Now we're killing one another.
Okay, if this mic
Do
goes
something,
dead, it's
Nick,
because
do
I'm
something.
headed back home. I'm going east, people.
Hey, we have contributed. We have Arthur Shawcross, and Rochester, New York, contributed the Hillside Strangler in L.A.
Yes.
was brought up
not
here.
to mention Michael Pilato, who we actually personally knew. We knew his family. Who,
What was
tried to
his?
burn
What was his particular?
He tried to burn his family to death, the entire family. He only got
Burn
to
the
kill.
house down.
He only got to kill 3 people, I think, and a dog.
Yeah.
His sister and
What did the dog ever do to
mother.
him?
Underachiever. Jeez,
I mean, yeah. So he only got to murder 3 by burning them to death.
all right. So
In the house.
I mean, I don't know if it's drugs, but the violence, and it's not obviously not only in Rochester. It's
All over the country.
across the
All over
country.
Is
What'd you say,
violence? What'd you say? 42% increase this year in violent
Well, I
crime?
think
Okay,
so, yeah.
can I just propose something? And here's my perspective.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so Netflix shows up on our TV, and it's like, what's the next thing? Oh, it's murder. There's some new British thing about murder. There's murder and violence. What do you go on to? I keep having this stuff that comes up when I'm watching these YouTube videos. People controlling armies. Oh, we destroyed this army. So we're baked in. We're just bathed in murder and violence on TV, on video games. Does that have anything to do with the fact that people are killing each other? With the fact that people are violent? They see stuff on TV. They see stuff in video games. Does that promote that kind of activity?
Sure.
and you
I'm
know
sure
what?
it makes a little contribution.
If it does make those people do that, it's because they're all mentally challenged, and we've bred an ass backwards group of children. Then
But
if they're
we're-
that stupid and that weak mentally that they see a game and they think I'm gonna go out and shoot someone.
Well, but seriously,
then
I
train
mean,
wreck.
this is the thing.
2 words: meat grinder. Bring 'em
Okay,
in.
true. All
Come
I know
on
is
down, baby. Turn that grinder on. It's 2022 coming.
Yeah, but tell me, if you're a small child, and if that's what you're watching
Yes.
on a regular, the
Yes.
diet of violence.
so
and
I saw
You
Bugs
will-
Bunny
it-
shoot people constantly with a gun. I saw Elmer Fudd. I saw Yosemite Sam. Dude,
Right, but nobody
He had 2
died.
guns
There
in
was
his
not
hand.
blood
You know what?
pouring out
I haven't
all
shot anyone. Well, not in the childhood.
It's a little
I have a
different.
right to remain
It's a little
silent.
different, Top.
But when you're actually you have a gun on a video game and you're hunting other
Yes.
people, that I have to believe.
Yeah.
When you do that for hundreds, if not thousands of hours over a
Yeah.
year, it will change. It will change your brain chemistry, and who knows what type of behaviors will stem
There you
from
go.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when in doubt, knock them out.
This has been 3 Brothers and a Bill. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on 3 Brothers and a Bill.